Hello guys, Shimfuckity here. Welcome back to another video, and today guys I'm going to be doing my match preview for Manchester City versus Watford, or should I say Watford versus Manchester City, because it is at Watford's ground. And out of all the times that we've played Watford, we scored 33 goals and they've scored 3 goals. So Watford is a team that we tend to have quite a good record of beating by quite a big score. But in my opinion, you can't afford to take your eye off the ball because they're still a Premier League team. And it's not like we're playing like a League 2 side or a Championship side. Because they could just put on in one big performance on any day and we could have an off day and then anything can happen. But if we're on our game and we play to our best ability, we should be walking away from Vicarage Road with all 3 points. Because these are the games that you can't be losing if you are to win a Premier League. Because I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way to Watford, but if we don't beat them, these games against your Watfords, your Palaces, your Villas, if you don't win them, it could end up costing you the league, despite it not being against the sides that are in the title race with you. My lineup for this game is Edison in goal, Diaz and Laporte. I think Laporte will start because his suspension's over because he picked up a booking in who do we play? West Ham, and then that meant that he couldn't play in the Villa game, and it was just a 1-game suspension, and now he's back in. And Stones I don't think can play because he had a fever and he was a bit unwell, and that's why he didn't play versus Villa, and that's why Nathan Ake had to go. If at the very least I want to see Laporte. I would want to see Ake, but I'm not. I'm not sure. He did. Yes, he did play well against Villa, but I think now we've got if Stones is fit, I play Stones, but I'm not 100% sure if he's well or is trained enough to be in the starting lineup. But in my opinion, if Stones is able to play, he's got to play for me because he's our second best centre half, bar Diaz, at the club in my opinion. And my fullbacks are Carl Walker, I think he'll come back in, and I think João Cancelo will come back in, and I think it'll be Bernardo, Rodri and Grealish in the midfield, and then the front three of Sterling, Jesus and Mahrez. I think it will only be a change of maybe taking out Fernandinho out, because I think Fernandinho's not the sort of player that I would start anymore. He's a sort of player that I would bring on to close games out. Because I think Fernandinho's a really good player, and when he was at his best, I think he was probably the best, one of the best, if not the best, CDM in worldwide football. And Watford, they other than beating United and Everton recently, they haven't been that great. They've got 1 win in their last 5 fixtures, and they lost to Chelsea and they got battered 5-0 by Liverpool. So it's not going to be a walk in the park like in the past. I think it might be a sort of Burnley game where we have games where we beat them heavily, but then they're going to want to come out and at least prove a point that they're not going to get hammered. I think it'll be a tight game for the first half or so. I think we might be only a 1 or 2-0 up at half time, and then I think they might pull one back right into the first half, and then we're catching with 2 goals in the break while they're trying to get back into the game. And my score prediction is Manchester City 4, Watford 1. And Chelsea have got West Ham, and that's not an easy game for them, so you never know, they might drop points. But the thing is with West Ham, they haven't been in the greatest form. They haven't won in their last 3 games with 2 losses and a draw. So we need to win at any cost, even if they do win, just to make sure that we're still up there with them. Obviously, we've got Leipzig in the week after this, and it doesn't really matter anymore because we got that PSG victory. We qualified, and we also confirmed our place top of the group. So you might see a bit of James McAtee, Cole Palmer, Nathan Ake. I think I wouldn't be surprised if De Bruyne played against Leipzig, because I remember when we played Southampton, we had Wickham a couple of days after, and he rested De Bruyne and Foden for Southampton and then played them against Wickham. We've seen it before. Pep doesn't tend to rotate, and when he does rotate, we tend to lose. I know it doesn't really matter what the result is because we're still going to go through with a first place no matter what the score is, but I think you'll still see players like maybe like Gundogan out there and De Bruyne and I wouldn't be surprised if Foden, because Foden and De Bruyne need some minutes in their legs, because obviously they haven't played a lot recently due to De Bruyne testing positive for COVID and Foden being out through injury. I think if Watford come out and attack us, we're absolute hammer them. But if they sit back, it will be more of a tricky game. So it depends what Watford do, as because Leicester, Raniero did a brilliant job with them. I still think this is probably the best moment in Premier League history, bar the Aguero moment versus QPR when he won the title of Leicester in 2016. Because no one ever saw that coming, because everyone expected them to get relegated. No one expected them to go on and become Premier League champions. So Ranieri is actually quite a good manager, and what Watford need to do, what Watford do not need to do is, if he goes on a run where he picks up a couple of draws or losses, because Watford have got a bad history and record of sacking managers and not giving them a lot of time to prove themselves. If Watford let Ranieri prove himself that he's a top class coach, then he could take them to maybe a 10th place sort of 15th sort of place team. I don't think they get them to a Europa League or Conference League side or a top 4 side, but I think if they keep him in, then they've got a good chance of avoiding the relegation zone or getting relegated down to the Championship and getting into the mid-table area of 10th and 14th or 15th. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. And also some transfer news. We have become the favourites to sign Dusan Vlahovic over at Fiorentina. So I think it's not that we want to sign him as our number 1 target. This is what I think. I think what City think is that Haaland's the best striker option out there, because there isn't any main first choice world class strikers out there that there is out there that you can buy, and I think they want to sign Haaland. That I truly believe that, but I'm not sure they fully trust the wages that Raiola and Haaland fully wants. That's why I think we're looking at other options maybe Darwin Núñez and Dusan Vlahovic. And I wouldn't be surprised at Dusan Vlahovic. I mean Darwin Núñez, because we have got quite a good relationship with Benfica. Because obviously we signed. We didn't sign Bernardo from there, but he did play for them in the past, and we got Diaz there. So we tend to have quite a good relationship with Benfica, so I wouldn't rule out the Darwin Núñez option either. But from what I've heard of Darwin Núñez, he's a bit inconsistent and he's slightly overrated, because I haven't really watched him that much, but that's from what I've heard from either football fans or Benfica fans. So leave me your thoughts on that. Hope you enjoyed this preview / a bit of transfer news regarding Manchester City, and I will also be doing my Premier League predictions for these week's fixtures, and go and watch that as well. And if you haven't watched some of my recent videos, make sure to tune into them. And if you don't want to miss my upcoming videos, make sure you click the notification bell, because if you just set it to the public on the notification bell, it doesn't mean that you have to show anything. It's just that you get notified whenever I upload. And if you put it on private, you have to search it up to get it. And sometimes you don't notice that when you search it up that it's been out for an hour, because sometimes when I don't have my notifications on, I go into someone's channel and then I missed the video and it was a couple of days ago. So that's what you don't want to do. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Up the boys in blue. 3 points, nothing less, no matter what the score is, whether it's 1-0, it's 5-0, whether it's 6-0, or whether it's a 2-1. No matter what the score is, we just need to make sure that it's a Manchester City victory, and we keep the momentum of keeping above Liverpool and getting closer to Chelsea, and hopefully West Ham and Wolves can do us a favour in those 2 fixtures, and we can win as well. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Hope you enjoy.